Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So, last lab section, I taught you about the basic architectural features of your 8051. That is all your registers, general purpose register and accumulator and memory pointer. And also, I have explained about the syntax of your move instruction and add instruction and process of assembling your 8051 program and also I have explained how to execute, that is how to create and execute codes in 8051 NCU IDE. So have you tried all your example programs in this IDE?
Yes, ma'am.
What about other students? Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
all try? Got the output for all the example programs?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about remaining students? Have you tried?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
So
ma'am.
have you all executed
Yes,
all the
ma'am.
codes? Have you all executed all the codes in 8051 IDE?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And also I have covered unsigned addition and subtraction. Any doubts regarding in your assigned, unsigned addition and subtraction and about your PSW, that is carry flag and parity, zero flag? Do you have any doubts? So in case of your subtraction, that is unsigned subtraction, so you have to take 2's complement of your source operand, okay? So after taking 2's complement, that should be added to your first operand. After that, you have to check the carry flag. So after inverting carry, if carry is 0, the result is in positive form. Otherwise, your result is in negative form. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So carry is 0, the result is positive. If carry is 1, the result is negative. So this rule is only applicable for your unsigned subtraction, not for signed subtraction. Okay? So have you completed this problem, homework problem? What is the answer?
D, ma'am.
Huh? D, E. What
E.
about carry?
Ma'am, but in the ID it shows carry flag and accumulator are set, ma'am. But I don't understand how.
Okay, I will execute this code, ma. Huh? I will execute this code in IDE. Okay,
Okay.
students, any other doubts? So here your accumulator is loaded with 4C and B is loaded with 6B, and this instruction, subtract instruction, is used to subtract the B register content from the accumulator. After subtraction, result will be holded by accumulator. Okay, so here your accumulator holds smaller number and B register holds larger number. So it's subtracting larger number from the smaller. Okay. So we'll execute this.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I have a one doubt, ma'am.
Yes, Mahesh.
Ma'am, where we have to see carry is set, auxiliary carry is reset, ma'am.
In
In
a
I
simulator or
in IDE, ma'am.
I,
My
I,
is not.
IDE, here you have to check. Are you able to see here? That is PSW.
Yes, ma'am.
Here you have to check your all your flags. That is carry, auxiliary carry, user flag, and all your register selection and overflow along with parity. Then a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will execute this code. Okay. So first I am going to execute the first instruction. So after execution, you will accumulate. See here, students. Please look at here, register window, your accumulator is holded with 4C. That is your A holds 4C. Okay. And next, move B comma 6E. So 6E is loaded into B register. Okay. And after subtraction, here your answer is D, and also you check your carry flag here. Your carry is set to 1 and auxiliary carry is set to 1. Okay. So to indicate that the result is in negative form. The result is in 2's complement form. Okay. To convert 2's complement form to true form, again we need to include two instruction, that is complement accumulator and increment accumulator. Okay, your carry is set to 1 here to indicate that the result is in 2's complement form. Okay, I will explain this. So what are the inputs? What are the inputs? 4C, 6E. Okay, so the given subtraction is, you have to subtract 6E from 4C. Okay, first convert these inputs into binary. So 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. And next for 6E, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay. So for 6E, you have to take 2's complement. Okay. So first you take 1's complement for 6E. So what is the 1's complement? Please tell me.
1001.
1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. After that, add 1 to LSB. What is the answer? 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So what is the answer in hexadecimal? What is the answer, students?
92.
Subtract 92. So this 92 should be added to your 4C. Okay. So 1, 0. So this 92 is the 2's complement form of 6E. Okay. 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. I'm adding this 4C with this 92. So 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. So what is the answer? 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Your carry is 0. Okay. So after conversion, you have to invert this carry. So your 8051 will take care of this. Actually, internally, we have only 2's complement circuit. Okay, that is only we have adder. So for that, for verifying result, we have to take 2's complement of your source operand that should be added to your first data. After that, you have to invert the carry and also invert your auxiliary carry. So here, auxiliary carry, there is no carry from D3 to D4. So what is the status of auxiliary carry? Auxiliary carry is 1 after inverting. So from this, that is from this carry flag status, we conclude that the result is in 2's complement form. What is the answer? DE. So DE is in 2's complement form. In order to extract the original answer, true form, again we need to include two instructions in your program, that is complement accumulator and increment accumulator. So just you calculate 2's complement for this DE. What is the answer? Find out. Students, are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Ma'am, why we want to invert that carry and auxiliary carry?
So this is the, actually, this is the internal operation of your microcontroller. So this is the internal operation. So this rule should be followed during your subtraction. So the reason is that your 8051 does not have any subtractor circuit internally. So that is the reason. Okay. So for overflow setting, we have to follow two rules, no? Similar to that, after subtraction, we have to invert this carry. Since your 8051 does not have any internal subtractor circuit, only we have 2's complement circuit, that is adder circuit. So that adder will give, suppose if we are subtracting larger number from smaller number, okay, your answer will be in 2's complement form. That case, you have to invert that carry. See, இங்க நீங்க simulatorல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா your 8051 inverted and shows the carry flag status. இப்போ நீங்க இங்க பார்க்கும்போது நாம எதுவும் பண்றது இல்லை. Your carry is set to 1. So that is the internal operation. So using this carry, user has to interpret the results, whether the result is in 2's complement form or true form. Okay, is that clear? So user has to interpret the result using carry flag in your signed subtraction. In case of the, unsigned subtraction. In case of signed subtraction, we have to check the overflow flag. Is that clear? In case of unsigned operation, you have to check the carry flag. In case of your signed operation, you have to check overflow flag in order to verify your results. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I have answered your question.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, nice, ma'am.
Ma'am, with like, how do we understand if the answer is going to be signed or unsigned without the manual calculation, ma'am?
Actually, your processor does not know whether we are adding signed numbers or unsigned numbers. Okay. So only we are giving hexadecimal number in your program. Your processor does not know about the signed and unsigned. Only programmer know how to interpret the results. Suppose in your program, if you are using only signed numbers, based on the accumulator content, you have to interpret. Okay, and based on the carry flag, you have to convert your result into 2's complement, from 2's complement form to true form. Is that clear? Your processor does not know if you are adding 1's complement, if you are adding signed numbers or unsigned numbers. Just we are entering hexadecimal number alone. Suppose if you are performing any signed addition, okay, that case you have to interpret the results based on your inputs. Is that clear?
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
we are giving only hexadecimal number here. Just look at this program. We are giving only hexadecimal program. Your processor or controller does not know whether we are giving signed values or unsigned values. So user responsibility is that how to interpret the results based on your inputs. Okay. And also you need to check the carry and overflow flag. So carry flag is for unsigned numbers. Overflow flag is for signed numbers. Based on carry flag setting, we have to interpret the results. Is
Okay,
that
ma'am.
clear, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other doubts? புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா உங்களோட inputs signed and unsigned?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. So please note down the solution for this problem. See, the concept is little bit confusing only. While doing more examples, you can understand clearly, okay? So practice is needed, okay? Otherwise, your programming skills will not be improved. This is not a theory class, okay? So you try out all your example programs in your IDE. Otherwise, it is very difficult to follow the upcoming lab classes. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
in PSW, whether the anything, ma'am, carry and auxiliary
Actually,
carry show.
இப்போ நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா you are subtracting larger number from smaller number. இப்போ நீங்க வந்து your processorக்கு தெரியாது this number is a signed number or unsigned number. According to our logic, we are performing unsigned subtraction. Okay. So after execution, look at this carry flag status. Okay. If carry is set to 1, you have to interpret the result. That is, the result is in 2's complement form. So that is the indication. உங்க carry flag என்ன indicate பண்ணுவோம்னா result வந்து 2's complement formல இருக்கா true formல இருக்கான்னு சொல்லும். If carry is 0, your result is in true's form. That is, result is in true form. So there is no need of 2's complement operation here. So நீங்க signed addition முடிச்சு execute பண்ணனும். Please look at the PSW. Unsigned இருந்தாலும் சரி, signed இருந்தாலும் சரி, you please look at the carry flag status. If carry is 1 அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்னா the result is in negative. Otherwise, result is in positive. Positive na just you leave the answer. Suppose if your result is in negative, that answer is not a true result. இப்போ நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கால்குலேட்டர்ல one second. So what is the input? Your input 6E. Actually, I am subtracting smaller number from larger. 6E minus 4C. Subtract 6E minus 4C. What is the answer? The original answer is 22. Okay. So here the subtraction is reverse subtraction. Okay. Just we'll find out the answer. So clear this. I'm subtracting now 4C minus 6E. That is subtracting larger number from smaller. So what is the answer? Your result is in 2's complements. According to your 8051, it supports only 8-bit. So you are able to get only DE. But the original is you are supposed to get 22. So that should be complemented. So your carry flag indicates that the result is in negative form. புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா? இப்போ நீங்க என்ன பண்ணா again you have to take 2's complement. நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும் complement accumulator and increment accumulator na you will be able to get the original value. Is that clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, but we always have to do a manual calculation by this side.
Yeah. For verifying result, you have to do a manual calculation.
Okay, ma'am.
Otherwise, it is very difficult to interpret your result for your both signed and unsigned. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So now I'm going to include complement A, CPL A, and increment A. Okay. So 4C is loaded into accumulator, 6C is loaded into accumulator. I'm subtracting B register from accumulator content. Okay. The answer is D. So you are supposed to get 22 based on your carry is set to indicate that your result is in a negative form. Okay. So you need to take 2's complement here. So I'm going to complement the accumulator content. So accumulator content is now, that is your accumulator holds 21. Next, I'm incrementing accumulator. So what is the answer? This is your original answer. But your carry and auxiliary carry retain the same status. Okay. So auxiliary carry is for BCD operations. Okay. Your carry is for hexadecimal operation. Is that clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose I'm giving 6E here. Okay. 6E and 4C. That is subtracting 4C from 6E, okay? So execute this code. 6E is loaded into accumulator, 4C is loaded. And after subtraction, when accumulator holds 22, look at the carry flag status. Now carry is resetted to indicate that result is in true form. So there is no need of 2's complement form. That is, there is no need of 2's complement conversion. Is that clear now? புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா பாருங்க.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
இருக்கா? ஓகே. மற்ற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் இன்டராக்ட் பண்ணுங்கம்மா. Okay. Shall we move on to the signed arithmetic instructions?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts regarding your unsigned operation, unsigned addition, unsigned subtraction?
No.
Okay.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am. I have a doubt, ma'am.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, in unsigned subtraction, like we have to perform the manual calculation to know if the carry is 1 or 0, right?
Yes, yes. For subtraction only, not for addition.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That was the doubt. Thank you, ma'am.
Only subtraction only. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So next one is the signed arithmetic instruction. So what is the range of your signed numbers in 8051? So already I have explained in your theory class, explained these concepts in your theory class. What is the range?
0.
9.
How your numbers are divided into positive and negative?
Minus 128 to plus 127.
Plus 127 to minus 128. Okay. So how do you identify the given number is a positive or negative? So which bit holds signed magnitude?
7.
Is 7. Okay. So D7 MSB holds your signed magnitude. Okay. So remaining all your bits represent number, that is your D0 to D6 represent your number. So D7 holds signed magnitude. When D7 is equal to 1, the number is the negative number. Okay. Otherwise positive. When D7 is 0, the given number is positive. Okay. So D7 is 0, the operand is positive. If D7 is equal to 1, it is a negative number. So your number is divided into positive and negative. That is entire your 0 to 255 is divided into positive range and negative range. So the positive numbers are from 0 to plus 127. Okay. So look at this table. 0 to plus 127. That is 0, 0 to 7F. Positive numbers. From 80 to FF. Negative numbers. So for negative number representation, you have to check the D7 bit. All your D7 bits is equal to 1 in case of negative numbers. In case of positive, D7 is equal to 0. From 0, 0 to FF, in terms of hexadecimal representation, 80 to FF under negative range. Okay, is that clear? So positive number 0 to plus 27. So next, how to represent negative number in hexadecimal, okay? So first you have to write the magnitude of the number in 8-bit binary. First you convert the negative hexadecimal number into binary and invert each bit and add 1 to it. So these are the steps to be followed to represent your negative number, that is 2's complement number. So negative number is nothing but your 2's complement representation, okay? So look at this example, minus 34. So according to the steps, first you convert this hexadecimal, that is write your number in binary, okay? For 34, so how do you write it in binary? 0011 0100. So 34H given in binary here. And next invert individual bits of given number. So 0 becomes 1. 0 becomes 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. So what is the answer? So this is 34H. So what is the hexadecimal representation for this one? Please tell me.
CB.
C?
B.
B, okay. Again, so what is this third step? Add 1 to the previous one, okay? So now CB becomes CC. So this is the negative representation of this 34. So minus 34 can be represented in this way. So if you are doing signed addition or signed subtraction, suppose if you are giving 34, that 34 should be represented by CC, okay? That is 2's complement form of minus 34 is CC. Okay. So in signed arithmetic operation, there is a problem involved. That is the problem involved during your execution of your addition and subtraction instruction. So that problem is the overflow problem. Okay. So the result of an operand on signed number is too large for the register. Okay, that case overflow flag will be set. So the range is, so after addition and subtraction, your result should be within the range of minus 127 to, sorry, 128 or 127. 128 to plus 127. If the result is exceeded, your overflow flag will be raised to indicate that the result is invalid one. Okay. So overflow has occurred and programmer must be noticed in case of signed operations. Okay. So add these two numbers, 96 and 70. Do it in binary. So first you convert this number into binary and add these two. So first instruction is, that is loading your 96 to accumulator, 70 to add one, R1 and add A comma R1. Okay. That is 96 plus 70. So this number is a decimal number. Okay. Convert this number into hexadecimal and add these two. So 60H is the hexadecimal representation for 96 and 46 is the hexadecimal representation of 70. First you write it in binary and add these two. So when is overflow flag set? When is overflow flag set?
There is a carry from D6 to
Ah.
D7.
So what are the two rules? Two rules. One rule is if there is carry from D6 to D7 and no carry from D7. So that is the first rule. Otherwise, there is no carry from D6 to D7 and carry from D7 out. Okay. So these are the rules involved in your overflow flag. Please check that. After your addition, please check that. What is the status of your D6 and D7?
Carry is generated in both D6 and D7.
D7. Carry is generated?
From D6 to D7.
D6 to D7. What about D7?
Yes, ma'am, carry.
Carry from D6. No carry from D7. I think. Paranga check pananga. Carry from D6. There is no carry from
And
D7.
no carry from
D7. So 96 is added with 70. Okay. So the hexadecimal equivalent for 96 is 60 and hexadecimal equivalent for 70 is 46. First you write it in binary. Okay. So add these two 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Here one carry is generated from D6 to D7. Again 1 and additional carry is 0.
Ma'am?
So, yes?
Ma'am, 70 0 111 no, ma'am. Here it is 0.
No, this is decimal, ma.
Ma'am, the binary representation 0 1 1 111 no.
இல்ல இல்ல இப்ப 70க்கு பாருங்க என்ன ஆக்சுவலி என்ன 46 தானே கால்குலேட்டர்ல செக் பண்ணுங்க.
Oh, okay.
$46 no? See,
Okay.
these two are decimal, ma. These two are decimal. 96 and 70 are decimal. So, உங்களோட understanding-காக I have written this 90, 96, 70. ரெண்டே add போடும்போது you will be getting plus 120, 166. So, this value is not within the range. அதுக்காக போட்டிருக்கேன்.
Okay.
See, 60. This is 60. So this number is a decimal number, okay? This is 46. So after adding these two, there is carry from D6. Please note it down. There is carry from D6 and no carry from D7. So what is the status of overflow flag? Set or reset? Set. Set to 1. Okay. So according to the CPU, the result is minus 90. Okay. A6. So find out the, actually we are adding, only user representation is that we are adding signed numbers. Okay. So what is the exact negative number representation for this A6? That is A6 is a signed number. நீங்க அந்த டேபிள்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா the equivalent number, decimal number for this A6 is minus 90. Okay. Since we are doing signed addition, so the result is minus 90, which is wrong. And also you look at this overflow flag status to indicate the that is to indicate the result is exceeded. Overflow is used to indicate whether the result is within the range or out of range. Okay. So the result according to the CPU is minus 90. Okay. The reason is that the result is larger than what accumulator could contain. So minus 160, plus 166 is not within the range. So like all other 8-bit register, your accumulator could contain up to plus 127 only according to your signed number representation. Here your number is exceeded. So what is the answer after adding 96 with 70? The answer is 166. So it exceeds the range. Okay. So overflow flag is set by hardware. Your 8051 automatically set the overflow flag status, okay, which is used to inform the programmer that result of the signed operation is erroneous. That is, the result is invalid. Okay. Is that clear? புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
96யும் 70யும் we are adding. நமக்கு தான் தெரியும் it's a signed number அப்படின்னு. So after execution, you are getting the answer A6. According to this table, so negative representation na, it's a minus 90. A6 or equivalent hexadecimal value is, sorry, equivalent decimal value is minus 90. Okay. So this result is a wrong, and also overflow flag is set to 1. இது என்னன்னு indicate பண்ணோம்னா programmerக்கு the result of the signed operation is invalid. That's all. So we will do it in the execute this code in the simulator. So 60, 46, I am adding accumulator content with R1, okay. So 60 is loaded into A and 46 is loaded into R1. Here you can see your register, general purpose register content, R1, okay. And also look at this window. So this window reflects the internal RAM memory. So your R1 is located in your internal RAM. So here 01, that is the address is 01. So the address, starting address is 00. So next address 01. Likewise, your memory has been arranged here. So here look at here, that is your 46. So your R1 holds 46. Either you can check your register value in this window or here, okay. So I am adding A with R1. So what is the answer? A6. So A6 is nothing but minus 90. Okay. So here your overflow flag is set to 1 to indicate the result is invalid. That's all.
Ma'am, can you explain this question again, ma'am? I lost connection.
எங்கிருந்து explain பண்ணனும்?
Ma'am, the question, ma'am. R1.
Okay. See here, the main problem involved in signed arithmetic is overflow problem. The result of an operation on signed number is too large for the register means your overflow flag is set. Okay. So the range is minus 128 to plus 127. So the positive number range from 00 to 7F, negative number range from 80 to FF. In terms of decimal representation, 0 to minus 28 and 0 to plus 127. Okay. So according to this example, I'm going to add two numbers, 96 and 70. So these two are decimal numbers. So after adding these two, you will be getting the number, that is getting the answer 166. So this answer exceeds the limit. Okay. So when the result is larger, so actually your accumulator could contain only the numbers from 00 to, that is 0 to plus 127. Okay. So your accumulator could only contain up to plus 127. Okay. So here the result is exceeded. So your overflow flag is set by 8051. Okay. So this flag is used to inform the programmer or user that the result of the signed operation is invalid. So which is wrong. Okay. So after the addition, according to your carry, there is a carry from D6 and no carry from D7. So your overflow flag is set to 1 to indicate the overflow. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you. So after execution, your overflow is set to 1 and your accumulator holds A6, this result is a wrong result. Some adjustment is needed in order to trace out the original value. But according to the signed number, the value is 166. Okay, sorry, unsigned number, the result is 166. Okay. But the 166 is not within the range. The 166 is not within the range. So the overflow flag is set. புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, since R1 is an internal register, we are not able to see it in that special function register column.
Here, I think it is not included. You have to check the results here. So this is for only bank 0. Suppose if you are using bank 1, bank 2, for that you have to check the second row, third row and fourth row like that. So here from X0 to X7, no, this X0 is nothing but your R0. X1 is nothing but your R1. Likewise, the registers content are arranged from 00 to 07. See? So this is the your internal RAM. No, it is divided into 3 parts. One is the general register banks. Other one is the bit addressable, and third one is the general purpose RAM. Okay. So the default register bank for R0 to R7. So what is the address range? 00 to 07. Suppose if we are using bank 1, so addressing range from 08 to 0F. Likewise, 1 second, ma. Likewise, the internal register banks are arranged in this window. When you see 00, it's nothing but your R0 content. And this will be your R1. Likewise, R7. And next for bank 1. Next for bank 2. And remaining for bank 3. And 22, 7 is for bit addressable region. Likewise, your internal RAM memories are arranged in this window. Memory locations.
Yes, ma'am.
The present agudadrukku pathingala inga
Yeah.
in the window. So first row is the for bank 0. Second, bank 1, bank 2, likewise. Any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. The next one is the signed addition. So here I have considered 2 negative numbers. Okay, minus 128 minus 2. So after addition, the result is minus 30. So the result is not within the range. So in this example, your overflow flag is set to 1. Okay. So minus 128 is represented 80. So these two are decimal numbers. So hexadecimal representation for minus 128 is 80. And hexadecimal representation for minus 2 is FE. Okay. So 1 0 0 0 0 0 0. So here I am performing addition. Okay. And next 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 0. So add these two. So 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 again 1. So here, no carry from D6. So there is no carry from D6 to D7 and carry from D7. So what does it indicate? What does it indicate? Overflow is set to 1. So the result is wrong. Okay. The result is plus 127. So the hexadecimal equivalent is 7E. So that is equal to plus 126. We are adding two negative number. We are supposed to get negative number only, but we are getting positive. So overflow flag is set to indicate that the result is invalid. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Execute this code. So I'm loading 80 into accumulator, FE into B register, adding these two. So after the addition, please look at the overflow. So carry is set because additional carry is generated. So your carry is set, overflow flag is set to 1 to indicate the result is exceeded. Our result is not within the range. Okay. So that is the indication. Sometimes to get an original answer, we can include these two instructions to check the answer according to your manual calculation. So complement A, increment A. Okay. So the answer is 82. So that is the correct answer. So if you are adding two numbers, that is minus 128 and minus 2, you are supposed to get 130. So after calculating 2's complement value of generated result, we are able to get this 130. But these two steps are not compulsory. If you want, you can include. Okay. But original answer is this one. Original answer is your plus 126. That is 7E is the original answer. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
we are writing minus 2 in decimal, ma'am.
Actually, minus 2 is the negative number. Okay. So the equivalent hexadecimal number for minus 2 is FE. So how do you convert this minus 2 into hexa? அது தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு? Already you have studied in your digital electronics. இப்போ கூட நான் சொன்னேன்ல, just first you convert this value into binary and invert it. Okay. First write it in binary, invert each bit, add 1. So minus 2 எப்படி எழுதணும்னா? So what is the binary representation for 2? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Invert each bit. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. Next. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay. Add 1. 0, 1, 1, 1. All the bits are 1. So what is the answer? FE. So this is the hexadecimal representation for your negative number minus 2. புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா? இதே மாதிரி 128க்கு நீங்க எழுதினீங்கன்னா you can get this value 80. சரிங்களா?
Yes, ma'am.
So any doubts in signed addition, ma? Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So next one is the signed subtraction. So this problem we have already discussed in our theory class. Just observe this. So already we have discussed this one, sign to subtraction. Just you analyze this program. So two different signs, minus 99 and plus 100. So these two are decimal value, okay? So 9D is the hexadecimal representation of your negative, that is minus 99. And 100 is the positive value. So hexadecimal representation of 100 is 64, okay? So either ending you subtract panna. You have to subtract. That is subtract R4 content from accumulator content. So R4 holds 64 and A holds 9D. So you have to subtract 64 from 9D. So for that, take 2's complement of 64 and add your 2's complement answer with 9D. So find out. So any sign number addition or subtraction overflow indicates whether the result is valid or not. That's all. Overflow is 0, result is valid. When overflow is 1, the result is invalid. So I'm subtracting minus plus 100 from minus 9. After subtraction, the answer is minus 99. It is not within the range. So 9D 1001 1101. Okay. So take 2's complement of 64. 110 0100. Okay, 1001011. This is 1's complement answer. So next, add 1. 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1. Okay. So this is the 2's complement result of your 64. So add this value with minus 99, that is 9D. Okay. 1001 1100. So this is the 2's complement representation of your 64. Okay. Add these two. Find out the answer. 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1. So according to the result, no carry from D6 and carry from D7. So your overflow flag is set to 1. So what is the answer for this? The answer is 39. Okay. So this is equivalent to your plus 56D. So this value is invalid. We are supposed to get minus 99. That is negative number. So here the result is positive. So the result is an invalid result. That's all. So from the above example, we conclude that in any signed number addition, your overflow indicates whether the result is within the range or not. Okay, when the result is valid or not. If overflow is 0, na, the result is valid, that is within the range. Otherwise, the result is not valid. In case of signed number addition, we must monitor the status of carry flag. Okay. Signed, signed operation pannabodu, programmer has to monitor the status of carry flag. Okay. Both your signed addition and subtraction. And similarly, this case, overflow flag must be monitored by the program. So your hardware will take care of all the calculation and inverting your carry flag, okay, everything. But using the flag status, user has to interpret the results. Is that clear, ma? Purinjidungla?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so what will happen if we perform the 2's complement or take the 2's complement of the answer, ma'am?
இல்ல இப்போ நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா during your unsigned subtraction based on carry flag we can incorporate our 2's complement instructions சரிங்களா. But in this case signed number sometimes it will work out. Okay, நீங்க complement A increment A போட்டீங்கன்னா you can get the exact result. But signed la vandu eppave vandu overflow flag is set to 1, the result is wrong. That is the indication. சரிங்களா. Result wrong or right ஆன்னு பாத்துக்கலாம் அவ்வளவுதான்.
Okay. So if it's wrong, we don't have to carry forward.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Because your 8051 can accommodate only the sign, that is signed numbers from plus 127 to minus what, that is plus 128 to minus 120 case, 127. Suppose if your result is exceeded, your accumulator don't have the capability to hold the number. Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am,
So
you
your
told us.
accumulator limit is restricted to plus 127. If the result is exceeded, the overflow flag is set to 1 to indicate the result is invalid. That's all.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you told us that in some cases we can add complement A and increment to
Yeah,
the particular.
only we have to perform some manual calculation. After that, we can incorporate your complement A and increment A.
Okay, ma'am. Yes,
Choose complement panna answer கிடைக்கும் தெரிஞ்சு you can incorporate. Otherwise, you don't incorporate any instruction after your addition or subtraction. Okay.
okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So all your 8-bit register could contain up to plus 127 to minus 128. If the result is exceeded, since your microcontroller is a 8-bit processor, so it cannot handle the exceeded value. That is 127 மேல போச்சுன்னா it cannot accommodate. That case overflow flag is set to 1. That's all. அப்ப என்ன ஆகுனா your result will be normally your result will be wrong. Okay. So your result is wrong in that case. Any other doubts, ma'am? So idhula you can, this example you can incorporate complement A, increment A. Ipo neenga paakalam. Let's check the results in our simulator. This one or 9D. Okay, 64. So 9D is loaded into accumulator, 64 is loaded into R4. Please look at here, your X4 holds R4. X4 is nothing but your R4 of band 0, okay? And subtracting R4 from A, the answer is 39. This is not an exact answer. Here you can see your overflow flag is set to 1 to indicate the result is exceeded, okay? And next, I am complementing accumulator. The answer is C6, which is equivalent to 198. It's the decimal number. So the answer is 199. Okay? C7. But we cannot conclude this number is a positive number or negative number. Okay? So that is the difficulty while we incorporating these two instructions. Okay? Is that clear, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other doubts? So shall we move on to the next instruction, multiplication and division? So any other doubts in signed and unsigned addition, subtraction? Students, please respond. Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So next one is the unsigned multiplication. So 8051 supports byte by byte multiplication only, okay? So it will perform only 8-bit multiplication. MUL, this is the syntax, A into B. So one of the operand must be in accumulator and another one must be in B register. So only this instruction works with accumulator and B register, not any other register, okay? The syntax is MULAB, okay? You can load multiplier and multiplicand in accumulator and B register, okay? So after multiplication, so if we are performing 8-bit multiplication, so after the multiplication, the result may be in 16-bit form, okay? That case, your LSB of the result is in accumulator and MSB of the result is in B register. Okay, so here I am multiplying two hexadecimal numbers, 8-bit numbers 25 and 65. So after multiplication, the answer is E99. Okay. So it is separated. So 99 is in accumulator and 0 is in B register. So your A holds LSB and B holds higher byte. That's all. Okay. Move A comma A comma hash 25H. Move B comma 65H. The keyboard is not working. 65. So let's execute this code. So A is loaded with 25. So B is loaded with 65. So after multiplication, your accumulator holds 99 and B register holds 0E. See, please look at here. So your lower byte is in accumulator and higher byte is in B register. So after multiplication, your overflow flag is set to 1 to indicate the result is exceeded because your 153 is exceeded. So if we are assuming this is a signed number, okay? Any doubts regarding this?
No.
So after multiplication, your result may be a 16-bit value. So that case, 8-bit will be holded by, that is lower 8-bit will be holded by accumulator and MSB will be holded by B register, okay? So next one is the division. So 8051 supports byte over byte division only. So the byte are assumed to be unsigned data. So the instruction syntax is div AB, okay? So div A by B. So you have to load your quotient, load your dividend in accumulator, divisor in B register. That is A divided by B, okay? So according to this example, move A comma hash 95, move B comma hash 10. So sorry, this is div not mul. Okay. This instruction is not div A. That is 95 divided by 10. So you have to load your dividend in A, divisor in B, okay? So after division, the quotient is in accumulator, remainder is in B register. So numerator is in A, okay? Denominator B. So after division, your quotient is in accumulator, remainder is in B register. So after division operation, your carry is always 0, okay? Your carry flag is always 0. And if B, your divisor is not equal to 0, your overflow flag is 0. Okay, so this instruction always makes carry is equal to 0, overflow is equal to 0, if the denominator is not equal to 0. If the denominator is not equal to 0, this instruction always makes carry is equal to 0, overflow is equal to 0. If the denominator is 0, that is your divisor is 0, overflow is set to 1, indicates divide by 0 error. It indicates divide by 0. So remaining times where carry is 0 and overflow 0. If the denominator is 0, your overflow flag is set to 1. And 95 and 10. See, 95 divided by 10. So your quotient is 9, remainder is 5. Okay, is that clear? 9.5, your quotient is 9, remainder is 5. Okay. So 95, 10 is loaded. After division, your accumulator holds 0, 9 and B register holds 0, 5. Okay. So next I'm going to change this divisor value, for example, 0. So execute this. So your answer is 0, your accumulator holds 0, B register also holds 0, and the overflow flag is set to 1 to indicate divide by 0 error. And carry also 0. So any doubts?
No, ma'am.
And division? Diana? Dhanalakshmi, என்ன லாஜிக்கல் ஏதாவது சொல்லி கொடுக்குறீங்களா?
மேம் டயானா ரெடி பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன் மேம்.
டயானா?
ஒரே நிமிஷம் மேம்.
மேம் கேக்குதா மேம்?
ஓகே.
மேம்
டயானா சும்மா சிம்பிளா சொல்லிருங்க, அவங்க பண்ணட்டும்
லாஜிக்கல் ஆபரேஷன். எஸ் மேம்.
பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த ட்ரெய்னர் கிட்ஸோட இது போட்டு விட்டுருங்க. உங்களோட மட்டும் போடுங்க.
எஸ் மேம். வீடியோ
நெக்ஸ்ட் வீக் போட்டுக்கலாம்.
எஸ் மேம்.
ஓகே.
Shall I present my screen?
Yes. Yes. One second. Yes, Diana.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So we have seen the arithmetic operations for experiment number 1, and next we'll be now seeing the logical operations. Okay. So in 8051, the 4 main logical operations are and, or, not, and not. Okay. So and, or, not, and XOR. Okay. So we'll be taking 2 values. Let one value be 4C, and I have taken it in A register, and the second value be 2E. I have taken it in B register. First, let us do AND operation. For AND operation, the instruction is ANL A comma B. Okay, it is not AND, it is ANL A comma B. Okay. So now upon executing, my A register now holds 4C and B register 2E, and now after AND operation, the result 0C is loaded in accumulator. So can you manually check the AND operation? Take values 4C and 2E and check whether you are getting 0C. Okay. So next is OR operation. For OR, the mnemonics ORL AB. So one of the input is 4C and the second input is 2E, and the output is 6E. When you OR 4C and 2E, you will be getting 6E. You can manually work it out and check the result. And next operation is XOR operation, and the mnemonic is XRL. So after XORing the 2 inputs, you will be getting the result as 62. 4C and 2E, if you XOR, you will be getting 62. And next is NOT operation. So NOT, you'll be giving the mnemonic as complement. Okay.
Roll number 51, what's your doubt? You have raised your hand.
Nothing, ma'am.
Nothing. Okay.
So complement, you will be having only one operand. Okay, so let me take it as A. Okay, so this instruction will complement the values of accumulator. Okay, so 4C will be complemented. So complement of 4C is B3. Clear? Ma'am,
Yes.
அது போட்டு காமிக்கணுமா? So I
Diana.
think all the, ma'am.
இல்ல டைனா அந்த டேபிள் ஒன்று இருக்கும். நான் ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டா அந்த இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் செட்டோட டேபிள் இரு ஒரு நீ ஒரு பிரசன்ட்
The output மட்டும் காமிச்சிட்டா மேம் அப்படியே
காமிச்சிரு அவுட்புட் மட்டும் காமிச்சிரு.
So this is the output sheet you will be submitting after completing experiment 1 in the Google Classroom within the specified deadline. Okay, so some skeleton will be given. So you should write the code and the output in the format that is given. Okay, so space will be given for writing the coding part. Okay, so arithmetic operations you have 4: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and all the operations can be specified in a single line. Okay, if it is addition, add a comma b. So all those operations can be specified in a single line. You don't need to take different inputs and write the same code multiple times. Okay, so all the arithmetic operations, the first few lines you keep it as comment and you write a comment statement for all the 4 operations. And similarly for logical also, you can have the same format. So now what did I did? I was just changing the mnemonics for the operation alone, right? So that line you can change it and do the coding for arithmetic and logical operations. Okay, and here's the output table. Input and output columns are given. Okay, so against each operation you have to give the specified input. Only hexadecimal values should be given. No, you should not give very simple values like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Okay, so as ma'am taught you, you should take hexadecimal value as input and you should write the respective output. Okay, so for addition, you will be taking 2 input values. One of the
So
input values
possibly
should be
take a larger hexadecimal value. FE, FF, DE, like that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So if these 2 are the input values, you have to write it here and the result of these input values should be written here. Okay, and the same input value can be taken for subtraction also and the result should be written here. Okay, so here you should write the addition result. Okay, similarly for subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, so multiplication you will have 16-bit data, so you can write the 16-bit data here. Division also you can write the remainder and quotient specifying that this is the remainder and this is the quotient. Okay, you should specify the remainder and quotient as it was specified in the table in the PPT ma'am shown. Okay. And similarly for the logical operations also you have 2 inputs. The result should be written here. For not only one input you have, you can write that. So you have to fill this table. Is it clear? So only the coding and this output should be filled here. You can either type or write it, scan it, and then upload in the Google Classroom. Okay, so each one of you, as I said before, should have different input values. No student should take the same input value and write your output sheet, because for your CAT exam, each one will be given a different question. Okay, so we'll be taking 70 questions, and each one of you will be given a different question, a separate question, and it will be a similar type problem statement as taught in the class. Okay, so be attentive in the class. So you do the code, you take your separate inputs, you simulate it, get the output, do manual calculation and verify that you have got the correct output, and fill this output table. Don't just copy and submit it in the classroom. Okay, and if you do so, then you'll find it very difficult in CAT exam, because for CAT you have to study all these experiments and come, because you will be getting any question from any of the given experiments, but you will not get the same experiment. Some similar type questions will be given for CAT. Okay, ma'am.
Diana,
Ma'am.
இது அந்த and ஓட ஆப்பரன்ஸ் ஏதோ காமிச்சிருட்டா அந்த
Yes ma'am.
அது க்ளோஸ் பண்ண உன்னோடது.
Yes ma'am.
See, for all your instructions, please refer the syntax, the 8051 instruction table for all your instructions. Okay. See, here we have many AND operations. ANL is the syntax for AND. So this is ANL direct comma hash data. Okay. So better you use this one, ANL, A comma hash data. Okay. For ORL, A comma hash data. Okay. For XRL, hash A comma hash data. Otherwise, you can use XRL A comma B. A comma B is not given. You can give A comma B, okay? And complement, there is only one instruction, CPL A, okay? So better you load your inputs into accumulator and B register and perform both arithmetic and logic operations, okay? So load your first data into accumulator and load the second data into B register. After that, you can incorporate, you can have XRL A comma B, ORL A comma B, similarly MUL AB, div AB, okay? So any other doubts in logical operations?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. Diana, the video போட்டுறீங்களா?
மேம் எஸ் மேம் என்னோட
Yes,
சிஸ்டம்
ma'am.
The first video தான் போடணும், அந்த trainer kick மட்டும் போடுங்க. Next
first
video
video.
next class போட்டுக்கலாம்.
Yes ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, shall I start presenting, ma'am?
Yes, Dhanalakshmi. Yes.
But you are presenting, ma'am.
Ma'am. So I'll show you a video which gives you a clear description about your 8051 microcontroller trainer. Okay, so you can watch this video.
We now see the detailed information regarding the 8051 microcontroller trainer kit. So the 8051 microcontroller kit is the educational kit designed for self-learning on how to program the 8051 microcontroller with machine code. We can learn the operation of 8051 instructions by entering the machine code or the opcode to memory and test it directly. This is a single board microcontroller trainer kit based on 8-bit 8051 microcontroller, which is widely used to train engineers to develop on software, hardware for any industrial purpose and control. So we will now see the detailed information regarding the parts of the kit. So initially the kit has to be connected to AC mains. So this is the cable. This is the
Dhanalakshmi, increase the volume, Dhanalakshmi.
power supply. It has to be connected directly to the 230 volt AC main. And once it is plugged in, this button should be on. And there is a LED here, and this LCD display will be on to ensure that this kit has been powered up. And regarding these switches, we have 3 buttons. Switch 1 should be in upward direction, you can see here. And switch 2 should be in downward direction, and switch 3 should be in upward direction. Switch 1 should be in upward direction to ensure that it uses RS-232 serial port communication. And switch 4 should be in downward direction to guarantee that the controller is in execution mode. And switch 5 in upward direction for accessing the external memory. And this is about the switches. And we'll now see the hardware specifications. So you can see this is the very large IC here. This is the 8051 IC, which operates at 12 megahertz clock frequency. And regarding the memory, so these are the different memories available for 8051. We have system EEPROM, system RAM, additional RAM, monitor buffer, data RAM, user data RAM, memory mapped IO, and with expansion. So you can see the respective areas of programming. And for user, we can preferably use only this area, 41002 BFFH. Okay, this is the memory space allotted for the user to program. And next, coming on to input-output lines, 48 input-output parallel lines can be accessed using 2 numbers of 8255 PPI. This is the 8255 IC, which is set as Programmable Peripheral Interface. And one RS-232 serial interface using 8051 serial port. And this port operates at 9600 baud rate. And this 8051 comes with 5 interrupt sources, and here 2 external interrupts, INT0 and INT1 are provided. And there is an onboard battery backup for some of the memories. And you can see here VXT bus. So this is incorporated to facilitate any extra hardware to microcontroller 8051. So this is the micro 8051 LC. To this trainer kit, you can interface any external hardware like ADC, DAC, stepper motor, DC motor, several specific industrial applications can be interfaced with this kit. An unlimited number of add-on boards could be added to interface to the hardware. All buffered address, data, and control signals are brought out to this bus. And you can find here a 16:2 alphanumeric LCD, and it is driven by buffer 74LS244 IC. So this is the buffer IC for this LCD. And you have 3 connectors. So this is actually the P5 connector, which is also a VXT bus connector, and this is also VXT bus connector, and this P3 is CPU bus connector. For example, a bus usually carries data between a CPU and the system memory, and this connector serves this purpose. And And these two are specified as GLT7255 IC, which is a 32K by 8-bit CMOS ROM. Okay. And this is ATF16V88, actually programmable logic device. So you have two such programmable logic device, and it's a combination of a logic device and a memory device. The memory is used to store the pattern that was given to the chip during programming. And here you have 74LS174 D flip-flop, and these two are CD4015 BE a digit counter. And you have two general purpose input output, a switch and an LED. So a switch usually acts as an input and LED acts as an output. Okay. And the input output can be configured using these jumper connections. Okay, you have three pins. So this is the jumper, and if it is connected to 1 and 2, it means that switch is acting as an input port. Okay, so that is, you can directly give the data for programming through these switches. And if it is connected to 2 and 3, like this, it means that LED is configured as output port, and the respective results can be directly replicated in these LED. Okay, so I think I have explained about all these ICs, switches, buttons, etc. And here you have reset button in case if you have anything like if this LCD is not powered well, you can reset it. And if you want to code from the beginning, you can use this reset button. And this is the USB connector for connecting the keyboard. Ordinary keyboard it can be connected to this kit through this USB board, and you can feed in the code using this keyboard, and the same will be displayed on the alphanumeric LCD display. Now Dhanlakshmi ma'am will tell you how to code using the opcodes and also using the instruction set, and how to feed in the inputs and how to look for the outputs and what memory location should be used. Everything will be explained detailed by
Ma'am, just pause the video, ma'am. Dhanlakshmi ma'am.
Diana?
See here, ma'am, adore the coming and the kit.
Oh.
Yes. So here you have just two more points to add. So you have an IC with a sticker VI Micro. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. So you can find IC with the VI sticker, ma'am is pointing out. So that is actually the 64 kilobytes external flash memory. Okay, and you can see the two interrupt buttons. Actually, one acts as the reset button, the left one, and the right acts as an interrupt for interrupting the program. That's all. Ma'am?
Any doubts?
So this is the kit usually we'll be using in the lab for programming 8051. All your seniors have done the programming in this kit, and you'll also have the tutorial for this subject, and you'll be using the kit when the previous syllabus we had that. Now as we have the online lab, we are using this MCU 8051 IDE. So for your purpose, we just took the video of the kit so that when you have when you have chance to work, you can work it in the kit.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you please send this video in the Google Classroom, ma'am, so that we can.
Yes, we'll upload. Was it audible? It was found to
Yes,
be noisy, bit noisy.
yes, ma'am. Also, we couldn't understand the pins properly, ma'am. It was.
Okay.
Diana,
Ma'am?
Diana, அந்த
Yes,
வீடியோ அனுப்ப நான் யூடியூப்லயும் போட்டுறேன்.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
யூடியூப், வாட்ஸ்அப் அண்ட் கூகுள் கிளாஸ் ரூம் எல்லாத்துலயும் போட்டுறேன்.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Diana, we will upload the, I mean the basic one, the original.
Yes, the raw video we'll upload because yesterday when we tried to play the video, audio was not fine. It was very low. So we tried to increase the audio level. So, but unfortunately the noise also got increased. So when we upload the raw video, I think you'll be able to clearly make it out.
Okay.
Students, you have to execute all your arithmetic and logic operations, just programs in your MCU IDE, and upload your outputs on or before 29th. Okay, so upload your output in Google Classroom on or before 29th. Okay, is that clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And also you can try out signed and unsigned operations. Okay, so we have discussed many example and you can try out in the MCU simulator. Okay. So any other doubts?
Ma'am?
Yes, Diana.
Ma'am, output form 1B, is it posted, ma'am?
One
1B.
இந்த நம்ம டீச் பண்ணல.
Okay, ma'am. அது ரெண்டும் சேர்த்து let them submit.
next week பண்ணிக்கலாம். 1B வந்து not yet posted.
அதான் ma'am, ரெண்டும் சேர்த்து let them post.
ஓ, இப்ப next weekங்கறியா? next ரெண்டையும் கம்பைன் பண்ணிக்கலாம்ங்கறியா?
ஆமா மேம், அதெல்லாம்
என்ன பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. நான் இது பண்ணட்டும். நம்ம தனித்தனியா வேணா பண்ணிட்டு we can combine experiment 1A and 1B. இல்லைன்னா வைக்க மாட்டாங்க. இந்த வீக் வைக்காம directly they will come on Monday. அப்ப மறுபடியும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இருந்து நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணணும்.
சரி, ஓகே மேம், ஓகே.
இத வைக்கட்டும். ஃப்ரைடேக்குள்ள you have to submit. Any other doubts? Shall we wind up, Murali? Murali, Vinod sir?
Ma'am?
Anything you want to convey?
Nothing, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Everything is okay.
Vinod sir? Shall we wind up, sir?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Diana? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am, I'll take the attendance and we will find out.
okay, okay. Okay, Ramesh.
So you can unmute yourself and answer attendance. Roll number 1,
1 present, ma'am.
2,
Roll number 2 present, ma'am.
3,
Present, ma'am.
4,
4 present, ma'am.
5,
Roll number 5%, ma'am.
6,
6%, ma'am.
7,
7%.
8,
8%, ma'am.
9,
Present, ma'am.
10,
10%, ma'am.
11,
11%, ma'am.
12, 13,
13 present, ma'am.
14,
14 present, ma'am. 15 present, ma'am.
16,
16%, ma'am.
17,
17%, ma'am.
18,
18%, ma'am.
19, 20,
20 present, ma'am.
21,
21 present, ma'am.
22,
Present, ma'am.
23,
Present, ma'am.
24,
24%, ma'am.
25,
25 present, ma'am.
26,
Present, ma'am.
27,
Present, ma'am.
28,
20 present, ma'am.
29,
29 present, ma'am.
30,
30%, ma'am.
31,
31 present, ma'am.
32,
32%, ma'am.
33,
Present, ma'am.
34,
present, ma'am. 34%, ma'am.
35, 35 absent, 36,
36 present, ma'am.
37,
Present, ma'am.
38,
38 present, ma'am.
39,
39 present, ma'am.
40,
Present, ma'am.
41,
41 present, ma'am.
42,
42 present, ma'am.
43,
43 present, ma'am.
44,
44 present, ma'am.
45,
45 present, ma'am.
46,
Present, ma'am.
47,
Present, ma'am.
48,
Present, ma'am.
49,
Present, ma'am.
50,
Present, ma'am.
51,
Present, ma'am.
52,
Present, ma'am.
53,
Present, ma'am.
53, 54,
54 present, ma'am.
55,
Present, ma'am.
56,
Present, ma'am.
57,